Hello everyone, welcome to the Oasis Healing Temple. For today's reading, you're going to be receiving messages that you are too blocked to hear. And we have 3 guides for you to choose from today. For pile number 1, we have the Crone, and that is with the garden quartz crystal. For pile number 2, we have the Wizard, and that is with the Kambaba Jasper. For pile number 3, we have the Horned God, and that is with blue lace agate. So pause the video if you need more time to meditate to decide which guide is offering the message that you were too blocked to hear. The timestamps are going to be located in the description box below, and I'll see you all at your readings. Hello everyone who was drawn to the Crone and the garden quartz crystal. These are your messages that you've been too blocked to hear. I have already pulled your oracle cards. I'm going to get a few of your tarot cards here right now to give us some extra information. So you were drawn to the Crone card, and it says release. What is really neat is that it's paired with the garden quartz, and this is known as the shaman quartz crystal, also called lodolite. And if you look inside of it, there's so many inclusions in there, from hematite to chlorite, inside of a clear quartz. So what is awesome is we have this crone, and she's gazing into like this crystal ball, and she's holding this little bird on her hand. And what I feel like for you is you're being asked to go within, spend some more time in a self-reflective state, and to release anything that's no longer serving you, anything that's blocking you or preventing you from moving forward. So there's going to be a little bit, if you're not already in this process, this is soon to occur. You're going to be going through a cycle of release, of cleansing, of healing, of purging, anything that is of a lower vibration. So you're entering into a cycle of healing. Okay. Let's see what the cards want to reveal about this message. So let's see what you're too blocked to hear. We have the blue dyed agate crystal. Are you interested in the mystical? Do you feel a connection with spiritual symbolism, visions, and the divine? Open your spiritual eyes to see with greater insight. Be watchful and alert to maintain a safe and sacred center for yourself and others. Take the time to make your own rituals to help you align with your inner mystic. Oh, that's beautiful. See? You're being asked to go within, to go to your center, to spend some time in the inner realms to understand yourself a little more. And with the garden quartz, I feel like, so within each of us is our own soul garden, and we plant seeds. We've also had, our parents plant seeds, ideas, belief systems, structures, traditions, routines, etc. They are like the rules that we live by. And as we get older, our truths change, our beliefs change. But if we haven't gone within to pull out these particular seeds that have now become weeds, they can prevent us from moving forward. They can prevent us from seeing things with clarity. They can prevent us from manifesting our desires and our wants, because there is something that's blocking a belief system we have that is blocking the flow of energy, the flow of blessings, because the belief system it contradicts what we're trying to create. So this is about going within, tending to your soul garden, and pulling out any untruths, any disbeliefs that you have, any illusions, and bringing them to light, pulling them out, shifting your perspective. And so this is a very spiritual mission. Oh my goodness, everything is flying around. So there may be, you may be feeling, a little lost, or a little, things may be feeling hectic, because when we do the inner work, there's a lot of uncertainty. There can be a lot of, purges, emotional releases, anger or rage. Sometimes there's guilt. It just depends on each person's circumstance. But just know that this is okay. This is a natural part of the process. Allow yourself to feel, to purge, to cleanse, whatever you need to do to comfort yourself while you release these, let go of these weeds, let go of the past, let go of the pain, whatever it is. And it's not saying that because you're choosing to let go and move on that it didn't hurt or it's not a part of your life. It is saying that it's coming to a place of acceptance that it has happened, it did happen, but it is what has made you this wise person that you are today, and knowing that you have choices because of what you went through. That is something that you can decide if you want to continue going in that direction, or you want to continue living a life that experiences this and feels like this, or do you want to change and create something new, through knowing what you don't want. Now you know what you do want. That's how you apply the transformation. That's how you apply your wisdom, because you went through this. You know what that looks like, feels like, and you don't want to repeat that, so you change and you create something new from that experience. That is the wisdom of the Crone. All right, and we have Peacock. Light illuminates my path so I can see circumstances with wisdom. My physical and spiritual sight provides me with visions for understanding. I am highly intuitive. I have advanced hindsight as I see life from a higher perspective. I am safe. Beautiful that we have that. So your third eye is going to be awakening too through this experience. You're going to be seeing things with clarity. You're going to be seeing things from a different perspective. This is the aha moments. You're going to be having epiphanies. This is a level of awakening that you haven't experienced before. And the Crone is a card number 6, and this is about creating a nurturing environment within, making that safe space within so that you feel confident in who you are, confident about your choices and your life path, confident about your, your beliefs, because you're going within to understand where they come from and if this is your truth. And if it's not your truth, it's somebody else's, and you used it to get you to where you are today, but it's not a truth for you anymore. It's just something that you were taught, something you believed when you were younger, and it doesn't apply to your life right now. So it's okay to go ahead and decide, that used to be me, but now, it's no longer serving me. So I'm going to let that go. Appreciate all the lessons I've learned from that experience, and now it's time to start a new path and see a new way forward. So we have the silver topaz crystal. Have you spent time playing lately? Are you too serious? Ready for some fun? Is your life balanced with laughter and joy? Wake up your inner child and remember how fun life can be. Invite others to play with you. Spend some time frolicking in the water. So this is a call to heal the inner child, the Crone says. Get to know yourself better and understand why you believe what you believe. Understand your fears and where they come from. Comfort them, elevate them, give them the insight that they need so that they can move forward. Because typically what we have, wow, I have so many blue jays in front of me right now. A lot of y'all know I have a big view of my backyard. I live on 43 acres, so it's a huge field, and a bunch of blue jays just came in. So those may be messengers for you, especially since we have what looks like a cardinal. I'm not sure if it's a female cardinal here, and for me that's, typically that's your ancestors. So this could be your ancestors wanting you to heal the things, the traumas, the pain, the patterns that they couldn't heal. This is healing the karmic generational patterns and understanding that for them and the time that they were born, this is what they were taught. This is what society believed. And so in order to fit in, and never to, in order to, go with the standard. This was the standard of living at the time. And so this is what they taught their children. And sometimes they're not doing things on purpose to intentionally hurt you. This is an unconscious programming that we all receive. But it's very limited, and it prevents us from living and creating the life that we want. So that's why we have to go in and do the inner work to cleanse and purge any of these old beliefs that we had that were taught to us in our youth, and bring healing and understanding to our inner child, so that our inner child can mature and have more wisdom in the emotional body. Because a lot of times our inner child here, they experience a lot of things that are traumatic, and they don't know how to cope with them emotionally. So we just rationalize things away because we don't have the emotional skills and tools. We're not taught that at a young age, because most of the time our parents, they don't even have emotional maturity. They don't even understand their emotions, because they've been taught to suppress them as well. So as we get older, though, our inner child is constantly wanting our attention, because it is creating with us the reality that we are experiencing. And so we have to go within and do that healing work to our inner child, and elevate their perception and help them mature their emotions, so they're not living in a place of fear, of doubt, of unworthiness, or abandonment, of lack or scarcity. Whatever it is that we believed as a child is something that's still manifesting in our day-to-day life. It's still growing in our inner garden. So we need to pull those weeds out, get rid of those old beliefs, and create a new story for ourselves. All right, we have the otter. I find balance in my life through play, work, rest, exercise, and laughter. My creative energy is alive. I easily nurture myself. My visualizations focus on positive outcomes. I spend time at the water's edge to regain my balance. I attract nurturing, happy people into my life. See that your inner child wants to be happy. They don't want to be in fear all the time. They don't want to be worried all the time, or feeling ignored all the time, because we ourselves are ignoring our own feelings, our own emotions, and we're not teaching ourselves not to be afraid of our fears, and that our fears are just coming from the past, where we felt a certain way, where we felt unloved or unnurtured, uncared for in some kind of way, where we couldn't process and understand our experience, or express ourselves the way we wanted to express ourselves because of, circumstances. And so those memories, they are the keys to giving us our power, to giving us our spiritual tools, and how to manifest the life that we want. And so your inner child wants you to understand them, comfort them, nurture them, love them, telling yourself, I love you, comforting your emotions, understanding where they come from, understanding where your fears come from, so that they're no longer, this boogeyman coming to get you, so that you can enjoy life, so that you can enjoy the life that you want to live, and create the life that you want to live from a more confident, centered space within, where you're creating a sacred space in your own inner garden here, with seeds that you intentionally planted. Ask wonderfully, receive graciously. Yes, okay, so with the infinity symbol here, this is the past, and this is the present, the future here, and the present is in the center. And what we want to do is heal from the past, so that we can also elevate to a new timeline, so that there's a forward movement, that we're not constantly cycling in a loop, that there is a forward movement here. And I feel like with this, it's a number 4. Fours represent solid foundations, stability, structure. It also represents hard work, putting in the foundation, and that's what needs your work. You need to tend to your inner soil, and your inner soil is your garden. What are the seeds you're planting? What are you nurturing? Are you nurturing your fears, or are you nurturing your beliefs, your truths, your desires, your manifestations, your wants? Yes, we have the alchemist artist, being able to transform your fears to create something new for yourself, to create the life that you want to have, and to live happily in that environment. Divine Dragon, look, and we have the number 8 here. This is, so we're going to call that 88. This is an abundant spiritual life, responsibility. This is also financial well-being, material success, strength, cycles of growth, achievement. So, and with the dragon here, see how he's biting his own tail? Sometimes we can get stuck in a loop, in a pattern. And if we find ourselves experiencing similar situations over and over again, that is the sign, those are keys to showing you how you are making the same choice over and over again. And that's why you're stuck in a loop. You keep doing the same thing. You keep reacting the same way. So there's something that needs to shift. Your perspective needs to shift. Your belief systems need to shift so that you can elevate and move forward on the path and not be stuck repeating a cycle over and over again. It's time for you to ascend and evolve out of a space that you've been in for a long time. How can this be a wonderful win? Card number 16. Well, that's the thing. You have to take the time out to go within to understand. So sometimes when we experience struggle and challenge and we're unsure of why is this happening, you know, we may even ask the question, why, Spirit, why am I going through this? And there is a higher meaning to everything. And sometimes we don't see it in the middle of the struggle, of the challenge. It's only when we have hindsight that we're able to understand why did this happen and what was the meaning behind everything, because then you can look back and say, oh my goodness, now I know why this happened, why this occurred. And that's the place that you're in right now. You're asked to go back and bring that healing and bring a part of yourself that's still in pain, that's still in illusion and false beliefs, and bring them forward to the present moment where you are, where you have more control, where you are more aligned. Ooh, wow, you have Starseed and Divine Dragon. These are like bigger archetype cards in this deck here. So some of you are very old souls, you're very wise, and there's a reason why you're here and why you experience what you experience, because you're a starseed, you're a higher dimensional being, and you came here to shine your light on the shadows. This is part of your mission, part of your work to change and heal these ancestral karmic patterns so that they're no longer repeating, so that you can transform the shadows and shine your light, shine your wisdom, bring your understanding, your compassion, your nurturing, your higher vibrational energy into those dense, heavy spaces. And I feel like you have been doing that work, and that's why your inner child is wanting you to enjoy life a little bit more, because everything isn't always all work and no play. We need to have that balance. We need to make sure that we're enjoying ourselves in this physical plane. All right, let's take a look at your tarot. We have, I trust my ideas and my direction. Okay. We have the Four of Swords. I take the time I need to rediscover my vitality. We have, I am ready for a breakthrough to success. All right, so with these coming out, what I feel like is there's something that you're meant to do, something you're meant to create from your experiences. And it's some kind of new idea, a new perspective, this truth that's going to be coming in from this experience by doing this work. You're going to be receiving some kind of download, some kind of inspiration that's going to bring you some kind of successful business, some kind of creative project, I feel, with the alchemical artist. Something that you're going to create from this experience that's going to be a win-win for everyone. We have the Strength card. I can deal with whatever comes my way. Yes, you can. You can do this. pile number 3. This is the dissolving of the ego, and you have the infinity symbol here again, you know, moving to a higher timeline, having the courage and the faith and the belief that you can do this and that you can overcome your fears. You can befriend, you know, your shadow, dissolving the ego so it's no longer afraid. You nurture it, you comfort it, you understand where it comes from, and then you bring your gentle, loving nurture to those, nurturing energy to those spaces so that you befriend them, so they're no longer an enemy, or you're no longer feeling like you're a victim of circumstance. You take your power back and you heal from those experiences, okay? Oops. We have the 5 of Swords. Yes, you will heal yourself. You will overcome. We have the Devil. I am free of whatever's holding you back. Yes, you can break free yourself from these chains, from this past, from these old belief systems, these old patterns. You can heal from it. You can, and you will. Pile number 3. Look, you have the Fool coming out. This a new beginning, a new path is opening up. I am guided and protected on my life journey. Seeing that's you are guiding yourself out of the darkness. You're guiding your inner child and restoring the light by you reparenting yourself, because that's what you're doing. You are reparenting your inner child by you giving yourself the things that you felt you didn't have in the moments you were going through hard times or challenges or traumas. Be that person that you needed in those moments, you know, and you will hear, it's like a form of time travel. So if you look back to your inner child, you had an inner voice that was telling you it's going to be okay, and how to, you know, handle the situation as best as you could at the moment, right? And so the person you are today, if you bring yourself now back to the moment here, you will, as you go back to comfort yourself, it'll be that voice that you heard as a child, giving you comfort, nurturing you from within. And now you're doing the opposite. Now you're going to go within and comfort yourself today, the person you were back then. I hope this is making sense, but it's like you are your own angel, you know, your higher self. The angelic future part of yourself is going back into the past version of yourself and giving your younger self guidance, encouragement, comfort, validation. You know, you are seen. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm never going to leave you alone. It's never going to happen again. Of course you felt that way. Who wouldn't feel that way? It's normal. It's human to feel that way. I understand why you feel this way. And I'm going to acknowledge you and comfort you anytime you come to me with your fear or with your pain. I'm going to acknowledge it. I'm not going to ignore you and turn you away, because that's what happened to me in the past. And I don't want to do that to myself. So I'm going to hold your hand. I'm going to tell you it's okay. I love you. It's okay to feel that way. Understand why you feel that way. But this is what we're going to create now. And work with me. Work together. And we're going to create the life that we deserve, because we are worthy and we are lovable and we are kind and etc. And that's how you heal your inner child, which will create new doors of opportunity for you to step through a new life, a new experience. All right, what did we have? Creativity. Nice. Yes, you're going to be able to create from your light then. It will no longer be from an unconscious place. You'll be able to create from having healed the shadows. So once you illuminate all the shadows, all the fears are illuminated, because you're holding your inner child's hand and facing what they're afraid of. And then you end up taking the power away and taking your power back. And now you can create from a conscious place. Here, nice. Yes, you're going to be able to create something new for yourself by facing your fears, by illuminating your fears. There's a door of opportunity for you. All right, this is a unicorn. It says, leap into the unknown. Well, first it says trust, sorry. Leap into the unknown, have faith, and move forward. Believe you will fly. So I love that. And we have this door here, right? And the door is what is opening for you. And you may not know the way forward because you haven't been on this journey before. It's a new journey, it's a new experience, a new beginning. And of course, there's going to be challenges along the way, but you have to trust that you are being guided and that you're going somewhere that's going to be bringing you like success and new opportunities and a desire, that your desires to manifest, a happy, beautiful ending here. It's being adventurous so that your inner child is not afraid to come out of its comfort zone, because this is all I've ever known and this is what feels safe to me, but it doesn't make me happy. So I have to choose something different and step out of my comfort zone and trust that I'm going to be guided along the way on this new adventure, because where I'm at isn't fulfilling. So are you willing to just settle for that? Or do you want to step into your higher calling and your true purpose and destiny here by being brave, by taking a chance, by trusting yourself that you can make the best choices going forward for yourself, because you've learned from your past experiences now what you don't want, and now you know what you do want to create, okay? But you have to take that leap of faith. We have fundamentals of humanness. So with the salt here, this is like a return to your center, a return to the beginning. They say all salt originated in the ocean here. And so I feel like this is you're being asked to surrender and connect back to your true self. And then we have hematite with anchor in. Nice. Time for you to ground, go to the root chakra here and heal and cleanse the root chakra. The root chakra is our connection to ourself. It's our family. It's our original roots, our original belief systems. Where are you rooted in life? Are you rooted in other people's perspectives and beliefs and their structures and their systems and those karmic patterns that are ancestral and passed down? Or are you rooted in your truth, the truth of who you are, and of your belief systems? How do you view love? How do you view success? How do you want to be loved? What is truth for you? What is respect for you? Those are the things you need to question. What is your belief about the world? There's so many things that you need to learn about yourself and your own inner system and your own, connection to who you really are without the noise of the outside world. Okay, so you need to definitely spend some time in nature and meditation, just in quiet contemplation with yourself, and ask yourself some questions. Question your thoughts, question your fears, and get to know them on a deeper level, okay? All right, those are your messages, what you've been too blocked to hear. The Crone really wants you to go within and do some release work, okay? Release what is no longer serving you. Tend to your soul garden. Pull out them weeds and plant seeds of belief and love and nurturing, energies that support who you are as a person, okay? All right, pile number one, thank you all so much for being here with me today. Sending y'all lots of love. Please like and subscribe, comment below, or let me know that pile number one was your reading. Looking forward to having y'all back in the Oasis Healing Temple and future readings. Y'all take care. Have a blessed day. Hello to everyone who chose the Wizard card with the Kambaba Jasper crystal. These are your messages that you've been too blocked to hear. So your card says spiritual impeccability. Okay, give me just a minute. I'm going to pull. I've already pulled your oracle cards. I'm going to get a couple tarot just to start off your reading from the Wizard. What are the messages from the Wizard? Okay, let's start with those. So with spiritual impeccability is about making sure that you are using your spiritual gifts, your wisdom, to be in service to others, not from an ego perspective or for, financial gain. This is about being Making sure that you are a purified vessel, one that is more balanced, more coming from a place of being in service to others, so that you can hold more spiritual wisdom, because you have to be purified and cleansed enough to receive more of your spiritual gifts, right? So if you still are creating from a place of ego, or if you are teaching from a place of ego, I feel like this is very much talking what I would spiritual narcissists. You know, these are, I'm not saying that you are, but this is an example of what somebody looks like who's not using their spiritual gifts from a place of being in service and egolessness. So a spiritual narcissist is somebody who goes around and they try to tell everybody how they're doing things incorrectly and how they should be living this way, and this is what the rules say for being somebody who's spiritual, and this is what it is supposed to look like, and it's very narrowing. They can also be very judgmental, very criticizing. They can shame other people. It's that kind of energy, and it's not coming from a heart space. It's coming from the ego, where they feel like it's their need. I mean, they may think that they're coming from a heart space, but they're actually coming from the ego. It sounds like fear, and they're projecting fear onto others. And when you are somebody who is has healed their shadows and healed their ego and dissolved it so that it is more of their friend, their ally, they know that everything has purpose and meaning, and that it's not your job to go around pointing out to everyone where they're doing something wrong in their life, or where how you try to influence others or project your beliefs onto others, and almost shaming them into believing what you believe, and that's not going to work. You know what I mean? That you need to set the example and be a leader, and people don't want to follow a leader who's going around judging and shaming and condemning everyone. People don't resonate with that, because true love and unconditional love, and someone who's connected to source, knows that there's a reason for everything, and that people awaken in their own divine time, and everyone has their own growth schedule and growth pattern and their own paths that they have to follow to their own connection, their own spiritual connection. And there's nothing that we need to do other than just sending love and being an example. So this is about using your spiritual gifts from a place of heart-centeredness, and not using it from a place of ego and mind and fear. All right, let's see what your cards say about your message from the Wizard. So we have the King of Cups. This is somebody who is definitely spiritually, emotionally balanced, you know, making sure that you are connected to your heart space, who has a very empathic heart, very good leaders. They understand people's pain, and you understand what people go through. You understand their needs, and you're able to give them what they need from a place of spiritual wisdom, you know, and it doesn't take from you to give to others, and you don't, there's no resentment, because you love yourself and you trust, and there's this inner knowing that you have, so that when you do give to others, it doesn't empty your cup here. So some of you are very connected to your spiritual selves. I can see the situation another way. We have the Hanged Man coming out. So if I am my own anger, and I can see the situation in another way, some of you may be, you know, nobody wants to hear this, but you may be your own block, right? So whatever your belief is, whatever your situation, you may be preventing yourself from seeing things from a different perspective. You may be blocking off your spiritual connection here, or an upgrade to your spiritual gifts. You may be blocking your heart chakra without realizing it, and only focusing on the mind, you know, the mental aspect of spirituality, and not so much connected to the heart space. What do we have? We have the Hermit. Okay. And what's the last one? The Seven of Pentacles. All right, so there is a shift in perspective coming in for you, and you're being asked to go within, to take your light, go within to any fears that you may have, because there's a fear that you're holding in your mind and your heart that needs to be released and let go of, because there's some spiritual belief that you have, some blockage, some fear that may be unknown to you, that you could be projecting without even realizing it, you know. And it may be very innocent on your part, and you have no clue that this is what you're creating, or that this is a pattern that you're stuck in. But it needs your love, it needs your attention, and you need to go within and bring some healing to a fear that may be in there. Yeah, I trust my ideas in my direction. Seven of Pentacles. Yeah. All right, let's see what else we have. We have the blue tourmaline. Are you able to hear what isn't said? Can you read between the lines? Do you know what hasn't been revealed? How is your spiritual and physical eyesight? You know when people are telling the truth and when they are not. Studying and learning are good habits for your overall well-being. You are wise. Ooh, okay, so I just received a message from reading this. Some of you may be following a teacher who isn't quite honest about their teachings. They may be having good intentions on what they're teaching, but they're teaching from an egoic place, you know. They may not be aware, because we have this unicorn, you know, and that represents innocence. So I feel like they have good intentions, but they're creating something from a place of fear. And so that's why you're being asked to trust your ideas and your direction. There's something that you need to trust your intuition. You need to trust what you're feeling, because there's something that you're not seeing, and it's holding you back. It's preventing you from receiving more, you know, of a spiritual connection, because there's an untruth in what you're being taught. We have the owl. Hidden intentions, masks, and illusions, there we go, are revealed to me. Knowledge and wisdom regarding secrets are revealed to me when needed. It's easy for me to see the unseen and hear the unsaid. I acknowledge my intuition and trust it. It is my intention to improve my spiritual sight and clairvoyant capabilities. So there we go. There's something you're not seeing, and this could be something that you're creating from an egoic perspective, or a teacher. Take what resonates for you, whichever situation. Somebody that you're learning from isn't teaching from a grounded, healed point of view. They still need to do some healing work, and there's some fear and lower vibrational energy still in their energy, and they have to do a little bit more healing before they can begin teaching. And so always trust your intuition, trust what you are perceiving from the situation, because there's something that needs to be shifted here, something that needs to be seen and revealed. All right, we have appreciated Jasper. How is your stamina? Do you feel healthy and strong? Do you let yourself relax and spend time with your family or group of friends? Take the time to renew yourself with the comfort of your favorite people. Spend some time with a companion of the opposite gender to balance your energy. Exercise, such as running or power walking, will help you to increase your endurance at this time. Ooh, spiritual stamina. Yeah, this is about developing your capacity to hold more spiritual wisdom, more light, more awareness. But there's some fear, something in the mind that needs to be cleansed and transformed. There's some kind of pattern here where it's not, you're not seeing things clearly. There's something that's clouding your judgment, obviously, because there's something you're not seeing, right? That's what the reading is about. So we have the elk. I am strong. My inner core is powerful. I am physically fit, mentally focused, and emotionally balanced. Vital life force flows vigorously through me, providing me with endurance. I live life with vigor and vitality. I enjoy passionate relationships that restore balance in my life. Beautiful. So this is about you training, perhaps training yourself to see things from different points of view and different perspectives, expanding that third eye so that you see things from a more expanded viewpoint than just this little limited view, you know, because that's the ego is very limited. It's very fearful. It's very controlling. It can limit us and limit our potential by making us believe, and it's only because there's something in our inner realm that needs more clarity, more understanding, more healing, that is preventing this shift in perspective, that's preventing your spiritual growth here. And it has to deal with emotional maturity here. Hang on. I'm going to adjust my cards a minute. All right. There's a little bit of wind coming through, and my wind chimes just keep sounding off. So, and for me, you know, this is the cleansing and the purifying of the mind, right? So there's some work that needs to take place in the mental realm, and it has to do with an emotional blockage there. Okay, you got 3 cards. We've got the crystal, Orthoceras fossil. Have you been feeling overwhelmed? Are you trying to sort through thoughts, feelings, and details to make sense of everything? Are you able to absorb and digest all that is happening, both physically and emotionally? Take the time to make lists and journal to sort through things. Drink water to detoxify your physical body, and use meditation to clarify your mind. Let yourself open up to shine a light on your life and cultivate good relationships. Okay, this is why we have the emotional body coming through. So there's something that has to do with your relationship, and it could be your relationship with yourself, your relationship with somebody else in your life, or your relationship to spirit, to source creator here. So you're being asked to perhaps journal, to write down your thoughts, to write down your emotions, to write down your fears, get to know yourself a little more, get to know your beliefs, because there's something that is seen through the eyes of illusion, or the eyes through, emotional pain, perhaps. We have the clam. It is easy for me to take time for contemplative thought. I am observant of thoughts, words, feelings, and actions. The way to my future is clear and bright. My mind is completely clear. My focused intent aligns me with my highest good. Okay, I love that came out underneath the wizard with spiritual impeccability. Getting to know yourself, getting to know your beliefs, questioning them. Where do you come from? Is this the source of my belief? Is this really, truly what I believe in my heart, you know? Getting to know yourself on a deeper level, your thoughts, your words, your feelings. Why do you respond and act the way that you do? Why do you feel the way that you feel about certain events or certain beliefs? You know, are they yours? Are they ancestral beliefs? You know, there's a lot of things that you can ask yourself to get to know yourself on a deeper level. And this is what shining your light, going within to this hermit phase, getting to know yourself, getting to know your inner world, so that you're not creating from an unconscious point of view. So you're not creating from illusion or ego. You can create from a more aware perspective here. Knowing, you know, your hidden intentions behind what it is that you're doing and creating. How can this be a wonderful win? Ooh, win, win, win. Yes, getting to know yourself on a deeper level. And this is a card number 16, so 7, spiritual insight, intuition, deeper spiritual connection here. And that's what you're being asked to do, is connect more to the spirit realm. You are at the divine Y point. Okay, yes, you are at a crossroads here. To choose to let go of the things that no longer serve you and to choose a healthy path for yourself where you feel more connected to the divine. It's like a new cycle of growth here. And this is card number 33, which is a master teacher number. It connects to a higher level of spiritual understanding. This is also the Christ consciousness here. That's beautiful. We have disruption. Yeah, there's some patterns that need ending too. Some comfort that you need to offer to yourself, to a situation that you may have experienced. We have the Death card coming out. Yes, the end of an old belief system or an old pattern. We have Strength. This challenge will make you stronger. You will get through to the other side. Look for the gifts in this situation. Nice. Through this experience, through this challenge, you're going to be getting more access to your spiritual tools. You know, you have to shine your light on your shadows and understand where your shadows come from, because they offer you spiritual gifts. They offer you deeper meaning and insight into who you are as a soul. Ooh, you have prosperity. A gift of money is on its way. Your income is increasing. Manage your finances with love. Okay, so some of you, through this experience, you're going to be receiving, you know, some form of prosperity. And that can be prosperity, not always necessarily finances, you know, with money, even though it does say a gift of money is on its way. And this could be for you to take a class or whatever you need finances for. And this could be what you've been trying to create, but you've been creating from a place of lack and scarcity and seeing things from, you know, an old perspective. And that's what needs your attention and healing and nurturing energy, is your belief in yourself and trusting in your abilities and your worth to create the life that you want. But prosperity can come in the ways of also your spiritual gifts, you know, getting more access to the things that are, you know, meant to be yours. We have innocence. Take time to play, nurture your inner child, live with a childlike sense of wonder. See, and that's what you're going to be doing. You're going on a journey to heal your inner child, to heal those wounds, those old patterns and belief systems that developed when you were younger, truths that you were told or beliefs that you were told that you adopted for yourself that they're not your truth. But when you were younger, you know, we believe everything that our parents say because they are our guides here in the physical realm. And so we had to adjust to our environments and mold ourselves around that framework. And now it's time for you to go within and cleanse and purge anything that's no longer serving you, that's no longer your belief system, and to insert more comfort and love and understanding and compassion so that you can free yourself from these situations and have a stronger, healthier relationship with yourself. Yeah, you have nurture. Ground yourself. Oh, it's nature. Sorry. Ground yourself. Find a sanctuary in nature and connect with the elementals. Yeah, being in nature will help you find healing. It'll help bring your mind to the present moment. So if you've been trying to create from a place of the past and focusing on the past, living in fears of the past repeating itself, when you spend time in nature, it brings your awareness to the present moment so that you can focus on creating yourself, nurturing yourself and creating the life that you want, you know, so that your mind isn't going to the past anymore. When you nurture your inner child, you bring that past version of yourself to the present moment by understanding where its fears come from, understanding why it feels the way that it feels, and comforting it and saying that it's okay and that you understand, and validating those feelings and that experience is it a part of it as being a part of your life and who you were, and then nurturing, maturing that emotional body, that mindset that you had developed at a young age. And by maturing your inner child's mindset, it brings them more to the present moment so that you can create from a more balanced, mature perspective, which also then helps you to have more access to your spiritual gifts. Wow, and you got salt again. This pile number 1 had this card as well. So the fundamentals of humanness, and it is the crystal salt. And without salt, like, our human bodies wouldn't be able to form. And salt originated in the ocean. So I feel like this is a call to go back to your origin of self, your beliefs, taking time out to rest, to rejuvenate, to heal, to nurture yourself, to understand who you are, to understand what makes you tick, understand your fears, understand your strength, where your power comes from, where your desires and your passions come from. Going within, okay? And then you have breathe in your trueness with lepidolite, and we have this unicorn again. So this is about standing in your authenticity here, being true to yourself, shining your true colors. If you were taught, this is what success looks like, this is what spiritual connection looks like, what it means to be spiritual, what it means to be loved, how it's supposed to look, how it feels, what success looks like, whether you felt worthy or good enough, all of those things. This is you learning to heal those parts of yourself that didn't feel seen or loved or appreciated or validated, and for you to go within and do that for yourself so that you can heal your inner child and access your spiritual truths and your spiritual gifts, okay? By you acknowledging your right to believe and do and live the way that you want to, regardless of anybody else's approval. And that the only person's approval you need is your own. And, trust your intuition, pile number 2. Trust your instincts. You don't need somebody else telling you or telling you what God says through them. That's through their own personal connection. We all have our own personal connection to Source Creator. And so your guides and Source Creator will communicate to you, directly to you, or through the means that you receive your messages. Some people receive them through music. Some people receive messages through angel numbers, through animal spirits that come across the path. It's whatever you are drawn to for your symbols to connect, and especially we have nature coming through. So nature is like a big guide for you, a big access portal for you to connect to your inner child, all right? And that's what needs your attention and your love. There's something in the emotional and mental bodies that need cleansing and purging and healing. It needs your love, your validation, and your approval, okay? Because we have innocence and the breathe in your trueness. This is, your truth, accepting and loving yourself for who you are, and letting everything else go. You're not hurting anybody by, wearing your hair the way you want to, by connecting to Source Creator the way that you choose to connect. That is personal to you, through who you want to love. Now, if you're doing something against somebody else's will, then no, that is not acceptable. And of course, people are going to judge you because you're forcing somebody to do something. And it should be, we all are allowed our free will. So, and I'm not saying that's what you're doing at all, but I'm not saying that's okay. So, yes, do what makes you feel good and happy. And by all means, connect to Source Creator through your own channels, okay? All right, pile number 2, I'm going to close your reading now. Thank you all so much for being here. These are your messages that you may have been too blocked to hear. I hope this helps in some way. Sending y'all lots of love, and y'all take care. Have a blessed day. Hello everyone who chose pile number 3, the Horned God. These are your messages that you've been too blocked to hear. So I've already chosen your oracle cards for today's reading. So together we're going to pull your tarot cards before we get into your messages. Pile number 3, what have they been too blocked to hear? This one and this one. Okay, let's see what the tarot says first. Alright, so the Horned God says life, force, energy, and the Horned God represents the guardian to Mother Nature and to the underworld. And it also is a, connection to the divine masculine, to the energies of, like your wild nature, your untamed spirit here. Ooh, we have this little acorn at the bottom that's standing out to me. Seeds of growth and intention. So let's see what your reading wants you to know. What does the Horned God want to say? What have you been too blocked to hear? We have the Two of Pentacles. So something about choices, trusting your choices. You have the King of Cups. I am my own anchor. Trusting your intuition here, your emotional awareness. We have Judgment. I look back with compassion for myself. So there's an awakening. So something is awakening, and we have the Three of Swords. So we have some healing, and we have the Lovers. Let's put that down here. I look at compassion, see things exactly as they are. Okay, so there is some healing that's taking place for you, pile number 3. Maybe some truths are about to be revealed. We have card number 33, which is a master teacher number. This is a connection to the Christ consciousness, your higher self guiding you to a higher level of spiritual awareness and understanding. So I feel like you have made a choice, and the Horned God wants you to feel comfort in knowing that you made the right choice. So there may have been, I feel like there's been a little bit of betrayal here, a little bit of heartache, a little bit of pain. It could have come from a past relationship, I'm feeling, but where you may have either judged yourself or, criticized yourself for some reason, but the Horned God's letting you know that you made the best possible decision. And choice, like you've made the choice to love yourself and to put your needs first, which is definitely, it's not anything that's selfish. It's saying that I love you, but I love me more, not to put myself in a position to have somebody disrespect me or to treat me less than I am worth, and having more self-respect and self-love for yourself. So I feel like you, it's like self-preservation, but it's more like I love me, you know what I mean? And maybe in the past you didn't. Maybe you didn't have healthy boundaries or healthy standards for yourself because you didn't know your worth and your value, and I feel like you do now because of this experience. And so because of the place that you're at now, there's this healing, this opportunity to accept yourself, to awaken to your truth. We have all these butterflies, so you have transformed an aspect of the past and brought more love and compassion to yourself. And Yeah, it's going to be restoring your life force. You're coming back to yourself. That's beautiful. Yeah, he's holding the snake by the hand. You know, this is that Kundalini rising, healing from a past pattern, transformation, shedding the skin of the old and becoming something new. Let's see what else we have. We have stromatolite. Are you ready to revisit old wounds or issues to bring them to light? Do you believe in past lives? It's time to tunnel deep within to heal past lives and past situations that may still bother you. Through your inner work, dialogue any stored information that is causing a repetitive pattern in your emotional consciousness. So this stone, you know, stromatolite is one of the first, first algae bacteria here on the earth. And so stromatolite is the crystallized version of that. It is also Kambaba Jasper. This is blue stromatolite, and so this one's brown in the picture. But anyways, this is saying that this is a pattern that you may have healed from. So, because, you know, like I was saying, we have the snake here, shedding old wounds, seeing that you made the best choice, you know, the choice to love yourself. And if you haven't made that choice, you're being asked to make that choice now. We have the earthworm. With love, calmness, and tolerance, I unearth understanding of karmic lessons from this lifetime and from the past. My digestive processes are healthy and effective. I integrate life situations and emotions that provide me with valuable teachings. I release toxic thoughts that have seemingly been part of my consciousness forever, and now they are gone. Beautiful. So this is healing from a karmic wound here. So this may have been something that you've experienced in many lifetimes. And in this lifetime here, you're being asked to cleanse those old wounds, to love yourself, to make a commitment to yourself, to love you more than, you know, toxic relationships. Because somebody who appreciates you, values you, respects you, the energy is a give and take energy. It's reciprocated. You don't feel like you have to constantly forgive and overlook and ignore the behaviors and tolerate negative behavior and excuses for them to continuously do it. Even though, like, they will say they're sorry and they'll change for like a few months, and then they fall right back into the pattern, and then they continuously disrespect you, call you names, betray your heart, do things they said they wouldn't do, and they continue to do it and make excuses for it. This is why you have to love yourself more and to say, I deserve respect. I deserve more than what you have to offer. And it's not selfish, it is self-love. I love me more than I love the way that you treat me. And so the love that I have to offer, you're not ready to receive it. Your heart's not expanded enough to appreciate the love I have to offer. So it's time for me to cut the cords to this relationship and this experience, and pour my love into myself, because I have ignored my feelings. I have ignored, you know, the way that you made me feel. And it's time for me to move on with my life and to give myself the love that I need, since you are incapable of it. And there's nothing wrong with that. That is setting healthy standards, setting healthy boundaries, and that's what these experiences are teaching you. Will just make an excuse why it's okay, and they feel justified in doing what they do. So I try not to judge them. They are acting on their truths and their beliefs, but it doesn't mean I agree to them, and it doesn't mean I have to have them as a close part of my life. I can love them as a human being and wish the best for them, and hope that, you know, along their journey that they awaken to the way that they affect other people through their actions, through their unconscious actions. So there's nothing wrong with setting those healthy boundaries for yourself. On the back we have bear. And it says, it's easy for me to go within and know the truth. I take time for inner reflection. Contemplative thoughts help me reveal and process thoughts and feelings. I awaken my awareness through quiet time and meditation. I am a clear channel, and my filters allow me great mental clarity. So with this, I feel like the Horn God is telling you to take some time to go within and to get to know yourself on a deeper level. Because think of bears. They hibernate in the winter time. They go within their cave, and it's very symbolic of going within. And you have the earthworm too. This is getting to know your roots, getting to know your truth, your patterns, your programming, your belief systems, your emotional body, and bring healing, bringing awareness, bringing connection and love to your inner world, your inner realm. You know, the Horn God is a guardian to the underworld, and this is where we develop our patterns, where we get our karmic generational patterns from. It's a connection to your ancestors. So I feel like you're being asked to commit to getting to know yourself on a deeper level, on a more intimate level, and to know and appreciate the decisions that you've made, and if they were for the best, not only for you but also for the individual, because they have to learn a lesson too, right? They have to learn that you can't go around treating people like this and expecting them to constantly give you a pass or to forgive you. You know, it's teaching people how to treat you, and even though you love them, you can still say, you know, that's enough. I deserve respect. I deserve to be treated a certain kind of way. I have only treated you with respect, love, and kindness and forgiveness, and I deserve to have the same in return. And there's nothing wrong with that. That is like the least you should be able to expect from somebody who says they love you. You have ask wonderfully and receive graciously. Yes, I feel like this is the balance here, right? I give, therefore I shall receive. But you have to know that you are worthy of receiving. And sometimes what can happen to us, if you're an empath and you're consciously, constantly giving, forgiving, always trying to see things from the higher perspective, always giving everybody the benefit of the doubt, you know, being generous with others in your time and in your heart and your well wishes and your prayers and everything like that, you can end up blocking yourself off sometimes by not opening your heart to receive. If you don't believe and see yourself as worthy and deserving, this can prevent you from attracting that partner who sees your worth and your value, because you don't see your worth and your value. So the more you can spend time in reflection and meditation and get to know yourself, pour into your own cup, practice mantras. I love myself. I value myself. I am proud of myself for setting healthy boundaries. I'm proud of myself for knowing my worth. I deserve this. And it's putting yourself on like a throne, and not in the way where you're unreachable or relatable or anything like that. Not from an ego place, but from a place of knowing that you deserve and that you are worthy of having respect and a balanced relationship, that you are worthy of reciprocity, of give and take, of receiving blessings, of receiving blood, of receiving love. You know, you deserve somebody who sees you and sees your worth and your value and appreciates all the love that you give, all the attention, all the affection that you give, all the grace that you offer. You know, you deserve somebody who adores you and wants to share in that type of love, you know. So, but you need to see where you are deserving, and if there's any blockages, that make you feel like you are unworthy and undeserving, and healing those patterns. We have deliver your greatest gift to the world. See, and it's your perception, your vision, your love, your kindness. So we have 10. This is the completion, completing a cycle, moving on to something new, and giving your love to somebody who's worthy and deserving of it. We have you will only see the way by making the way. Nice. This is card number 11. Awakening, trusting your intuition and a higher purpose. I'm getting like Indiana Jones from this card, you know, having the courage to face your fears, to shine your light on the truth, to believe in yourself, to believe in your dreams, and then that you can create the future that you want. Pile number 3. All right, let me see if I can fit this one here. Let's scoot you guys down. Yeah, and it's card number 4, you know, having strength, believing in yourself, having the courage to overcome, to complete this cycle so that you no longer have to keep repeating, so that any future generations don't have to repeat this cycle. They don't have to feel or go through what you've been through, because you are ending it, you are shifting it, you are setting those boundaries for love. What do we have? Abundance. Okay. Passion. Ooh, an abundance of passion is waiting for you. And giving yourself love as well. We have find your way home, and I feel like this is finding your way home to yourself. What makes you feel loved? What makes you feel comforted? You know, and if this is something that you didn't experience when you were younger, this is your opportunity to experience it now and to make those choices for yourself, to find that safe space within, to create it and generate it, this happy home, a happy marriage where your children feel loved. They know what love is because you and your partner set that example. You know, you shine, you're happy, you're content with one another, you complete each other. And it's not saying that you need the other one, it's that you appreciate the other one, that you are whole unto yourself, but we enjoy sharing our life with other people. We are like, you know, herd animals. We are meant to be in tribes and communities and families. So we want connection, and there's nothing wrong with that, that you deserve to have somebody who supports you, who also cares about the way they make you feel. They want to build a healthy relationship, a solid relationship, a happy family. And it takes work, it takes effort, it takes communication, it takes compromise, and it takes both of you willing to see the other person's point of view and perspective, and to find a common ground that you can build together with, okay? What do we have? Ooh, activate the void with azurite. See, look at that, creating something, you know, and setting an intention for this creation, setting an intention to create this happy home. But there has to be that cleansing and purifying that makes you think that you aren't deserving of it, or that something's preventing you. And the truth is that it's your belief system and the way that you allow people to treat you and take advantage of you. But you have all the possibilities to create, you know, change, to create a happy life, to create a happy home for yourself. Pile number 3. We have compassion. Be gentle with yourself. Forgiveness will set you free. See the light in yourself and others. See, I feel like this is you having compassion for yourself, the choices that you made. Because sometimes when you start to see the truth of someone and you start to kind of like shame yourself, or like, God, why didn't I see this before? I can't believe I let them treat me that way for so long. Why did I tolerate it? Why didn't I stand up for myself? And that's the thing. We all try to do that. But what the Horn God wants you to know is that you were learning something. It's that you were in a class and you had to go through certain experiences, and you had to build up a certain level of, I want to say, unenjoyment, displeasure, so much disgust. You had to get to the point where enough was enough, or before you finally stood up for yourself, or before you finally said, I can't take any more, something has to change, and that happens to everybody. We get to that point where we're so unhappy with the way things are turning out, no matter how much we try them, how much love we put in the situation, how many times we forgive, there's still nothing is changing. They're not growing, and that's the thing. Like your love isn't what they need. They need their own love, and just like you need your own love. And no matter what you do, that individual, they have to want to change. They have to want to grow. So forgive yourself for, just not knowing what you know now, but don't regret the love that you gave to somebody else, because whether they were open to receiving it or not, that love still went out into the universe, and Mother Earth, Source Creator, that love's not wasted. It goes and it was sent to where it needed to go at the time. So don't ever live from a place of regret that you gave love to somebody who may not have been deserving of it, because they may not have been receiving it. It may have went to where Source needed it to go. So don't close your heart off. Love yourself. Appreciate how kind you are, how empathic you are, how compassionate you are for other people's pain, that you're willing to overlook, and see their heart, to see their divinity, see their innocence, that's what you were looking at. And really, it was your own reflection reflecting back to you, your love, your compassion. That's what you were seeing. It wasn't their compassion and their love. It was actually yours. All right, your final card says nature. Ground yourself, find a sanctuary in nature, and connect with the elementals. So Mother Nature wants you to connect to her so that she can nurture you, so she can remind you who you are. And the Horn God is also directing you, since he's the guardian of the underworld. He's also protector of Mother Nature. This is a balance of the masculine and feminine energies here. So standing up yourself, setting those healthy boundaries, protecting what is yours, protecting your heart, protecting your truth, and let Mother Nature nurture you. Let her remind you of your worth and your value. Let her bring you to the present moment. Okay. All right, pile number 2. These were your messages from the Horn God. I hope this reading helps you in some way. These were the messages you were too blocked to hear. I'm sending you so much love and appreciation for your big heart. Thank you all for being here on my channel today. Please like and subscribe if this reading resonates with you. And comment below if you feel like sharing your story, or just let me know pile number 3 was your reading. I'm sending you all so much love. Take care and have a blessed day.